Hello and welcome to Aimee Nolte Music. Today we're going to talk about training your ear to do something that you don't normally do. But not only training your ear, training your brain and training your fingers. I was looking at an old notebook I had from when I was in college. It's when I decided I wanted to transcribe several choruses of blues using all of my favorite blues ideas from different people. So you can see this first one I stole is from Charlie Parker on take 2 of Mohawk. And then as soon as the 12 bars are over, I start again, but it's with Dizzy Gillespie, also on take 2 of Mohawk, right? You see that? So it's like I could just put their 2 solos together and keep playing the blues. Yeah. And anyway, I was going through and playing those licks, and those ideas, and I came across this one. Now, this was from Red Garland in Blues by 5. And I started playing it and I thought, oh wow, I need to practice this. So I stayed up all night and I practiced and now there's nobody better than me at that lick. No, I'm totally kidding. Let's take a look at how it goes. Look, I like this part. I write, gets too sketchy. That means I was transcribing and then I just couldn't figure it out. But that's okay, I kind of got what I needed from it. All right, let's see how it goes. And I'm gonna stop right there. Now, it's cool, watch what happens. This is an E natural up at the top, right, on beat 1. When we get to, we do the pattern, then we get to the next bar and it's a D flat, and it goes down to a B. And then when we get here, it's a D flat, but it's on its way up, and it goes through, and then again, and then we get to here, and it's the E natural again, but it's not the same E natural. It's on its way up instead of on its way down. Can you see how it wraps around like that? That's really nice. Now, I doubt that Red Garland actually figured it out like this, but let's take a look and count how many notes he played in the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it starts over right there. But I mean, check out how hip that is, right? It starts out on the 2nd beat of the triplet on the 4th beat. Like this, yeah, right? Like, that's nuts. So that's why it's complicated, and that's why it sounds cool to us, because we've got 10 notes, but we're playing 12 notes, right? 3, 6, 9, 12. So it takes several times for it to get back to where it was. Let's see how many times it takes to get back to where it was on beat 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. That's where. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of times. It actually took 6 times, so it's not till the 7th bar of the blues that you would actually completely start the pattern over beginning on beat 1. That's not actually super important information or anything, but it's kind of fun to figure it out. It's a device that we can use very easily as piano players, and I'll show you why. I'm going to show you a slightly easier example. I'm going to break it apart just a little bit. Let's pretend that it was this. It's just the first 5 notes of the blues scale, right? And we use all 5 fingers. Now this is why we as piano players have it kind of easy. But one reason is that we can actually see what we're doing. You know, if you're playing a saxophone, you can't see your fingers, but it's nice to be able to see them. Another reason is because we have 5 fingers. So, I mean, right off the bat, that's an advantage, right? If I count to 4 and I play this line, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? I mean, it still wraps around in exactly the same way, but I'm able to keep track of what my hand's doing just by the simple fact that all I'm doing is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's really easy to remember. It's just, you know, your hand can feel it. That's a great way to practice, to count to 4 with your voice and to play the exercise with your fingers. Another great way to practice is to come up with some kind of a comping rhythm that you'd like to play over 4/4. So let's try this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I play this same thing, you would think it would be really hard to do that, but here's what I do. I've got 5 here against, 4/4. But since it's a hand and it belongs to me, I don't have to think about it. As long as I set it on its way, I'm not going to think about it one more time. I'm only going to think about my left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see how that works? All I'm thinking about is my left hand. This autopilot, really cool. Okay, back to the Red Garland lick. It's a little bit more complicated, right? It's got more notes. So the thing I'm going to advise is if you're going to take on this lick, to practice it so many times that you can do autopilot, just the same as we were just talking about, but with a few more notes. So if you can set your right hand on autopilot, that's pretty cool. And then you can do some more difficult things. The first of them is to play your right hand and to count 1, 2, 3, 4 out loud. Let's try that. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. So that's pretty good. That wasn't too tough, right? You should pause the video and try it. Okay, good job. Now, the next thing is we're going to try what we did before with the left hand comping pattern. 2, 3, 4. Got it? That one's a little more tricky. You want to watch my hands do it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Now if you needed to, you could go above, you could just go right above the lick that we're working on, right up there, and you could write dots right where you're gonna comp. 1 dot. There's the first one. You write a little dot, 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 like that, and you just write little dots above there. That can help, especially if you're kind of a more visual learner. I do that sometimes. It's helpful. Okay, your next move is to actually play the blues while you're playing your lick. So we're gonna keep it easy. The first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna play some bass notes. All right. So we're gonna go. There we go. All right, what do you think the next move is? You're going to be right about it. It's to just play whole notes, comping. We're just going to do like this 3-note comping. We've got the 7, we've got the 3, and we've got the 13. It's a great way to comp the blues. And then when we go to E flat 7, we're going to switch to this. We've got the 3, we've got the 7, we've got the 9, and then we'll switch back. And then we go to the F chord. We're just gonna do this. So we've got the 3, the 7, and the 9 again. And that's it, all right? So we've got 3 different, like that. That's how we'll comp for the blues. And here we go, autopilot. 2, 3, 4. pretty good. All right, and then the next thing to do is that comping pattern that we talked about. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. This is a little more tricky, and to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm gonna nail it. 4, 1, right? I'm just practicing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Think you can do it? I think you can do it. So there you go. We trained your hand to do a new thing. We trained your ear to hear a new thing. We trained your brain to think about a new thing. I kind of like to, I feel like a drummer when I do this, right? Drummers get to do fun stuff like this all the time. As pianists, we're drummers, but we've got 10 fingers, so we're like way more complicated. I don't know. They'll argue about that because they also use their feet. It's not a competition. Jeez. But yeah, so there we go. I hope you had a good time doing this exercise. Please comment and tell me if there's any questions you have or if this makes you think of other videos that you'd like to see. Thanks so much for watching Aimee Nolte Music, and I'll see you next time.